Okay, and we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to a new podcast of the Buddy Show. I know it took a long time for us to be here, but don't worry, it's because this variant tried to stalk. She made a multiverse, so I had to just kidding. Anyway, so hello, Zoe. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing good. It's a tough 2 weeks. Busy weeks, but it's hot. That's all I can say.
Oh my goodness, over here it is absolutely insane. Yesterday I headed out for something. I had to run some errands, and literally my car temperature said it was 109 degrees.
Yes.
So,
I mean, yeah. I was out of town. I was in Seattle, attended 2 weddings, so that's why in Las Vegas. So anyway,
right.
but that's not the part. Yeah, we're here for the review of Loki's episode 5 and 6. Sorry, guys, this took so long, but we made it. This is the finale. We actually finished the series, so congrats to us. So yes, so let's start it off. So Loki episode 5, kick it off. Zoe, what do you like episode 5?
So what I remember from episode 5, I guess I think from what I remember, because this was a few weeks ago, and what's her name? Sylvie was. I don't remember. Was this episode 5 where it ended with? Oh no, I'm sorry. Episode 5 is when they realized that the timekeepers were pretty much androids, right?
Yeah, no, that was episode 4. So episode 5, they're now in the void.
Okay, so that's after the fact. Okay,
Yeah.
so now if this episode picks up after they found out that the timekeepers are androids, blah 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 blah, and then Loki gets pruned. So it's like, okay, well, darn, sob. Because so now he's been pruned, and we know that he can't be like dead because the show wouldn't go on otherwise. So gets pruned out of that existence, I guess, and ends up waking up at a place called the Void, which is like the end of nothing, I guess you can call it. And then Sylvie, wants to get answers from what's her name? Ravonna,
yes.
Ravonna.
Renslayer.
Renslayer, right? And she wants to know what's going on, what her plans are, what she's doing, why she's doing it, and stuff like that. And then so Loki wakes up to find himself in like this post-apocalyptic world. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. He wakes up in post-apocalyptic New York City looking like type place, I think, where he finds variants of himself.
Yeah, basically the Loki's from the comics. I was like, oh my god, they actually did that. I was like, congrats to the writers. And also,
yeah, and they had like a kid Loki, they had like an older Loki, they had alligator Loki.
If he was in the comics, just to let you know, he was in the comics. So I'm like, yeah, I'm glad
I believe it. But so that's where they picked up, and he's pretty much going like, so how do we get out of here? What's going on? Like, what is this place? And then they find out that the entire Void place is being, not guarded, but like is kind of being controlled by what's it called? Not Goliath.
Alliance. It was a monster. I mean, he was also
Goliath, I think.
Yeah, he was also Alliance. Yeah, Alliance. There you go. He was also Marvel Comics. Just to let you know, that actually exists in Marvel Comics. And he was actually a space being with like matter, time, and space. So.
Right. So Alliance is there, and can't get close to Alliance because you gonna die. Pretty much, you gonna like die. So, and then afterwards, like, he's trying to figure out how to get out of there. Pretty much Loki, the Loki is pretty much saying, no, I'm going to find a way out, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's like, okay, sure. And then what else? What happens? Okay, well, so eventually, after trying to find answers from Ravonna, like, Sylvie prunes herself, right?
Kamikaze. Super cool.
And finds herself also in the Void, and then so like she's kind of like going around in the midst of this, both of them are like, what have you done to Sylvie, what have you done to Loki, right? Like you see some sort of like relationship blossoming between the two, I guess. But what happens is, like, I think Sylvie finds her way to find Loki, and then they try to figure out a way, or what they surmise is that Alliance is there guarding something else. right? And because everyone else thinks that no, there's nothing beyond this, right? But then she was like, no, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to enchant Goliath or Goliath. I keep saying Goliath. I'm gonna try to enchant Goliath and see if we can get past him to see where they think that whatever Goliath is guarding is like the answer to all their problems about the timekeepers and like the TVA and all that stuff. And then I will let you pitch in.
Yeah, so we go now to the secret base of the Lokis, which is actually run by Kid Loki. And oh my god, this actually proves Marvel is actually like watching us because we actually get a President Loki. The cosplay. Keep in mind, President Loki was on the comics. He was a cosplay. So we got President Loki trying to take over, and you can see Loki like the real our Loki kind of immature. He's like oh gosh, that's actually me.
Yeah, like that's what I thought was so funny. He's like, oh, he realizes how he actually looks. He's like, oh.
He's like, yeah, that's me.
Like the variant fight between all the Lokis and stuff. Thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we could tell. Now we can tell he actually did mature already. He's like, yeah. Like no, that was me. I can't screw it.
He's like, I was actually like that. Wow.
He's like, what? And then Alligator Loki does caught up. That was like, damn, that was dark. And
yeah,
guess who's here? The variant.
What?
We won. What's up?
I've brought you glorious purpose.
But yeah, anyways, so what's up, Cody? What's up, buddy boy? So
nothing. I'm still like unpacking my new house. So
nice. So anyway, so going back to Loki. Yeah, basically they fight. So basically they make a plan to basically kill Alliant, right? The Lokis were like, "Are you crazy? That can happen." So But when we go back to Sylvie, she does land in the void, and we see Ka-chow. I'm just kidding.
Can we just take a second to not appreciate, but talk about Kid Loki, whose Nexus event was killing Thor?
Yeah, he was.
I want to see that. I want to see how that panned out. But
also, you saw the Easter egg where the frog Thor
of the little yeah.
I was actually glad he did. I was like, oh, it actually exists.
Yeah. Do you see when the camera was panning down, you see a little Thor kind of jumping around on the Mjolnir thing? I thought that was really funny. Anyway.
And then after that, so yeah, we see Sylvie land in the void. We see actually Mobius, who played Owen Wilson, who actually got pruned. But we in this car. Sorry, Cars reference. Ka-chowing, ka-chowing. Save Sylvie. Then we go. So we do see the Lokis. Well, our Loki, and then of course old Loki and Kid Loki and Alligator Loki escape, go outside, make a plan to fight Alliant. We do have a moment. We see Mobius basically trying to find out what's going on. So he actually goes back to the TVA without saying a nice tearful hug to Loki. I think as a friend, actually did tear me up, and also maybe he's like, "You're my favorite." So
wait a second, I'll be right back.
Yes. So yeah. So but actually that did make me kind of tear up. I was like, "Oh, Loki is a friend." His only friend.
What episode was it where Loki was kind of in that time cycle?
That was up to 4.
That was 4. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Never mind.
Yeah, that was episode 4. Okay. But episode 5, that's when that's where Mobius does go back to the TVA, and we see him trying to stop Ravonna.
Yeah.
But somehow she doesn't kill him. He's like, you know what? Screw it. What's the point, right? So she actually does go somewhere mysterious. I don't know where. So yeah, that's we go to episode 6 because I actually can tell now. Then of course we see Loki and Sylvie. Sylvie finds a way hey, this actually has a feeling, has actually thoughts, has actually feelings. I can control him. I just need help, right? So distraction. So Loki does distract Alliant, and Sylvie does use her enchanting powers. But we find out Loki actually learns his power by actually
Right. At first, he was like, what if, I can't do it. If she can do it, you can do it. Because you are the same person, pretty much.
Yep.
So that was a really, bittersweet type of, oh, so sweet moment. They held hands and they did the thing. Thought that was really cool.
And then old Loki, with glorious purpose, makes Asgard. I was like, okay, that was awesome.
That was great. It was awesome. And then he, fulfilled his glorious purpose.
Yeah, glorious purpose by basically effing up the multi. Anyway, so he did feel.
What he says to let him back in.
Yeah. Oh, Yeah, so he fulfills glorious purpose by sacrificing himself to save his friend. Okay, that's fine. Um, and then they find out Elias kind of controlled, and they finally see a castle at the end of time, which is going now to episode 6. Want to continue?
So in 6, they find that like castle like place where they want to see who's inside it to see what's going on. They go inside and there's someone in there, and then they come across the master of the palace, I guess.
Kang. Anyway,
Kang. Yeah. So they find him and they're like, "What's good? What's going on?"
Jonathan Majors is acting. It's like, hey guys, what's up? Oh, you surprised to see me? Oh,
Right. So yeah, and then so he kind of explains like what his purpose is, and how he explained how the entire, or the way he came about, was there were multiple variants of himself, right? Multiple versions of himself, and that at one point there was a big war between everybody and everything, and then I think so. Remind me, I forget what the story was. Like after that big huge all out war, he created these this the timeline of which everything is sort of in control, everything is going as it's supposed to be going or whatever. And then if you break that nexus or something like that, all sorts of branches of timelines will appear, and all chaos will ensue or something like that. I forget. So remind me of what he said about what would happen if he were to be killed.
Okay, so because technically he is actually the real Kang.
Yeah.
It's Kang the Conqueror, guys. It's obvious. It's Kang the Conqueror. He did say hey, you kill me now, because technically I basically help control this time because I know what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kill me now, I don't know what's gonna happen. Because my variants could take over, and you don't want to meet my variants.
Right.
But he was actually fearful for one variant, which So Sylvie, unfortunately, does something stupid. Well, first off, Loki confesses his feelings to Sylvie, right? And they make out and kiss, so it's heartwarming. Incest.
But also, so before that, Kang also offers them 2 choices, right? One, they could kill him, right? But then that would allow timelines to branch out, and then which would cause thousands of variants of himself vying for the ultimate power, which would not be good. Or second, they could take over for him, running all the TVA and everything, which is not what they wanted to do, right? They wanted to find out what who was running the TVA and put an end to it, whatever, so as to not open the multiverse or whatever, right? So what ends up happening?
So after
Loki has this plan. He's like, why don't we run the TVA? Blah 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 blah. But then Sylvie naturally can't trust him because he cannot be trusted. But she doesn't know how to trust. So they're on both ends of this issue, where it's perfectly understandable because of what they've been through in their respective timelines, lives, whatever. So in a way, Loki has a point, but he can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvie needs to listen to reason, but she can't trust people. Mm-hmm. Also, naturally respectful. I get that. But then she, she tricks him, kisses him, whatever, and then kills Kang.
You mean, Mr. Richards Kang.
Mr. Richards.
So keep in mind that's actually Easter egg to Fantastic Four, because in Fantastic Four, that Kang, there's actually a good Kang. That was actually the good Kang. Yeah.
I watched the Fantastic Four movies.
No, Fantastic, because it seems remember now it's gonna be a Fantastic Four movie.
Say again.
So there's now gonna be a Fantastic Four movie, right, for the MCU.
Right.
So that is really a hint of Fantastic Four, because in the comic books, there was a Kang that actually was very nice and very kind, and actually he was also kind of also effed up, but he actually had reason. That was the one we were shown. But Sylvie, of course, and now same thing happened with that Kang. He also got killed in the comics. It all didn't happen in multiple, but now.
I mean, for Sylvie, it's personal.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But remember with Flash, damn it, Barry. Now it's like, damn it, Sylvie.
Right, and after like Sylvie had done that, it transported Loki back to the TVA, right? And he like ran into Mobius and or something like that. He was like, "Look, Mobius!" Oh, and then Mobius is like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "Oh, like what has she done?" So, and that's kind of where that ends, isn't it?
Yeah, so for fans that know, so that's end of Loki, guys. What fans don't know that Loki went to the timeline. So so Mobius we know is still there, but I don't know. But like he went to another timeline because remember they branched out.
It went like all of which ways, like so we don't know where he went, and what he's doing, what timeline he's in. We will soon find out.
Yep, and then we find out there's a season 2 of Loki. So there's that. Now that ends our review for episode 5 and 6. Now let's do like 15 minutes of talk. So Cody, Marvel boy,
how are you?
what do you think? What's now the future of the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse now?
I'm just waiting for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Aren't we all?
That's all I want. That's all I
Actually,
care about.
do you watch
Sony, release the trailer already. What are you doing?
I mean,
We were busy scoring that deal with Crunchyroll and Funimation.
You know what Feige said, right? They're not gonna show a trailer. But anyway, so
Flips the table.
so we actually do see what happens after for What If. So the What If animation, so Captain Carter and all the other stuff. So basically, those are now timelines, multiverses.
Mhm.
So what's cool about that too is that they're actually gonna make. I heard from Marvel, like Feige, they're actually gonna make actually solo series based on those multiverse stories. So it's kind of cool.
I really do hope that we're not overhyping this Spider-Man movie because everything that we have been speculating, it seems like after God, how long has it been since we first started talking about multiverse stuff, and now Loki and WandaVision have like jump started that it's becoming more prominent in how we're like really hoping that we actually get to physically see it. And I'm just very concerned that like we're writing our own script that doesn't exist.
Hopefully, it's worth the hype.
Yeah, always worth the hype.
It is, and I'm hoping that we're going to end up getting what we were expecting. But I mean, I feel like that's the best way to introduce the multiverse is through the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And while the Spider-Verse that we did watch, the animated movie, is great, and I absolutely
Literally
love
one
it.
of my favorite things I've ever seen. Amazing.
I really want to see Toby and Andrew
A live
mingle
action version, yeah.
So no, I really think Loki is setting up something now that WandaVision kickstarted, and Loki just literally kicked in the ass and said, "Hey, let's put this in gear." With this timeline thing, of course. What's the next thing that we're supposed to be seeing?
Like legit, the first like right now it's What If. What If legit like after like we're like the aftermath of what Sylvie did.
Okay.
Like yeah, so like if you actually like What If, it's like 9 episodes, right? So it's 9. They're showing you 9 timelines, and it's gonna be season 2. So there's gonna be more. But right now, Marvel giving us 9 timelines, alternate timelines.
So every episode is about a different timeline, and like after like including like not including but like about the Loki show or like the random characters in the universe.
Marvel, the Marvel universe.
Marvel's branching out, literally.
like episode 1 is like, what if Captain America did not get the serum, right? So Captain Carter.
Okay. So it's what if and like whatever superhero and their respective stories and how it turned out or how could it have turned out.
Yeah, and then even like not spoiler alert, like it shows like Captain Carter did have a impact on her universe. See?
Oh, Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. Well, now it's Captain Carter. And then the next episode will be like now Star-Lord and T'Challa. Like T'Challa never became king. He became now a Ravager. And now what would
Ravager?
What would be now the the effects of the galaxy? See, like Guardians.
It sounds so much like there's this one movie, and by I forget who it's by, but Jared Leto is the main character. I love him. And it's called Mr. Nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a movie about like the million kinds of things that like what decisions can impact your life, right? It's one random occurrence, one random event. What would happen if you did this, or what would happen if you do this? Even like something small as like a question asked to you. What would happen if you said yes to this? What would happen if you said no to this? And like it follows both storylines.
Yep.
Right. So that's kind of what I was thinking about. It kind of follows the same idea of how like literally what if. So
Yeah.
it'd be kind of interesting to see what if. So
Yeah. Also, again, like I mentioned, all these what if series, some of them will have their own solo TV series from Marvel Studios. So Captain Carter, expect a solo animated series based on that. But
animated series?
yeah, focus on that timeline, not on the main.
Oh, okay.
There's still the Sacred Timeline. The Sacred Timeline is the main MCU timeline, right? There's still that. It's just like in Loki, you see like more branches come out. See, but again, focus. They're gonna focus more on the main timeline.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
Or the Sacred Timeline. See. So that's why What If is gonna show you the. Yeah. Honestly, our first multiverse movie of it's gonna be Spider-Man, and then after that, it's gonna be Doctor Strange. Because I think Doctor Strange.
for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think what Doctor Strange is gonna do is gonna try to fix it because Sylvie did f it up, like she opened a lot of stuff. So I think what Doctor Strange he's gonna do is gonna try to fix it.
Which
And
would make sense for his character.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
and then after that, it's gonna be focused now on Ant-Man because Ant-Man will also be a multiverse film. Ant-Man 3 because Kang will be in it.
I think I read somewhere that like Ravonna, like Renslayer, and Kang were romantically linked.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yep, that's in the comics. They were lovers.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm sure that they're gonna like kind of tap into that in the next season of Loki, maybe because wasn't she sent off on some mission or something?
Yeah, from Kang.
From Kang, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm saying, interesting.
And also, what's
and then
cool
Deadpool
about?
just ran up.
Oh yeah, what's funny? You guys notice after episode 6 of Loki, like legit, there was a trailer for Good Guy and Loki was there. I mean, Deadpool was there. It's not coincidence, isn't it? It's not coincidence. After
What trailer?
Good Guy. With Ryan Reynolds.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. That's what you're talking about.
What?
Free Guy. It's called Free Guy.
Free
Oh,
Guy.
Free Guy. Okay, Good Guy.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, Free
Good
Guy.
Guy. No, Good Guy is something else completely that involves a doll named Chucky.
It's not bad. Sorry, Free Guy.
Nice.
So Free Guy, legit. After the episode of premiere, the next day, we see Deadpool doing a reaction of Free Guy, and guess who was in it? It's the guy from Korg.
Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
From Thor Ragnarok. He was like,
Wait,
yeah, Taika Waititi. He's like, hey guys, it's Deadpool. I'm reviewing the Free Guy with my new friend Korg. He's like, hello. He's like, so Korg, how did I get to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, you stole your soul. You he's like, you stole your soul. You take away your life. He's like, what? Yeah, that's kind of true. So
Man, Taika Waititi rocks.
so that confirms that
Deadpool is now part of the MCU.
because the multiverse is here. See?
Anything is possible now with the multiverse. To be
Yeah, and
honest.
also that means even maybe some. Even I don't want.
With no contractual agreements with Fox, now all we got to do is Disney. You need to buy Sony out so we can fully own Spider-Man.
Actually, I don't want them now because that means he could cross over with the Venom saga. See?
Uh,
I can't wait for the next movie, the Carnage movie.
So he can cross
Unfortunately,
over.
they just pushed it back.
Damn it, Delta.
Screw you, Delta variant. Get it? What dumb.
But like, yeah. So Spider-Man, I'm excited. It's kind of cool. Spider-Man, I'm excited. So Tom Holland. Hopefully Maguire and Garfield. Come on, Marvel. We know they're gonna show up.
You know, I didn't even care too much about Garfield's portrayal, but Tobey Maguire. I mean, we grew up with that one, right? That was the first instance of Spider-Man live action that we saw.
No, I'm going to say no. Not for me. My first instance was the 1994 Fox Kids Spider-Man animated series.
No, that's fine. No, I get that, but I meant live action. That was the first instance of live action that we've seen.
Live action?
Yeah. I mean, of course, like we grew up with the
No,
Spider-Man
I still say
cartoons
the
on Saturday
Japanese
mornings and
Spider-Man.
stuff. Yeah, so I'm really
I'm
excited.
joking at this point. I said Japanese Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man with the robot.
Like Penny.
We have a few minutes left, so let's look at some comments. Oh, there's only one. Hi, Cody. Good lighting. Hey, what's up, Jen? Okay. Aw, okay.
Cody has Loki lighting.
Yeah, okay, lighting. Yeah, that's right. I think he froze. Oh,
That's
okay.
why I
So,
went away. I wanted to have the green light.
all right. So let's do a review episode. Episode 5. I give it a 4 out of 5. How about you, Variant?
Are you gonna keep calling me Variant?
Yes.
I think I would give it a 4 out of 5. Maybe 3.5/4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real buttery boy. Real. What's your?
Kidding. Yeah, I'd say like for episode 4 or 5 and 6 or just 5.
Just 5, or yeah, just 5, right?
Just 7 now.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed. I enjoyed that. I give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay. For me, episode
5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5. Episode 5. I know 5 didn't have any action, but oh my god, the writing is so good. Kang was explained really well as
And it had some decent action.
Yeah, decent action. But I give it 5 out of 5. That was really it. Basically set up now the future of Marvel. Basically, this was legit the Winter Soldier of Phase 4 right now. Honestly, remember Winter Soldier?
I agree with that.
Huh?
Because I don't know, like Winter Soldier was incredible. Oh my goodness, like one of the best of that phase.
No, I meant like it changed now. It's gonna change now with the universe because remember Winter Soldier, no more Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why oh shoot, there's no more Shield now. How is the Avengers gonna get some, right? Resources?
Right. I mean, I'm just saying that like I don't know if this would. Well, no, I guess I can kind of see it like because no more like TVA technically.
Yeah, no more.
Him, so I get that.
TVA, the multiverse.
What she's saying, Ryan. What she's saying, Ryan, is it's actually the Iron Man 3 of the cinematic. Kidding.
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
Score.
Overall score of episode 6. I give it 4 out of 5.
Okay, respectable.
Yeah.
Real low.
Why don't we say a score out of the whole show so far?
The whole show.
The whole show.
I would give it a legit.
All 6 episodes. Break it down.
No, because
for me, it would be like a 3.5, very close to 4 out of 5.
Yeah, same thing. It'll be a 4 out of 5 for me because like there were moments I enjoyed it, but there were also moments that kind of slow.
Yeah,
exactly. Like there were some times where I'm just like, okay, like just keep it going. Like they drag out like certain things a little bit, and like there's so much information kind of thrown on you all of a sudden. It's kind of overwhelming. So it's kind of like, slow down, but then don't slow down. So it's kind of like just a lot all at once. So that's why I kind of like had to kind of go back and forth and see, otherwise like I soundtrack's pretty great. Acting, 100%. Writing is all right. And I mean, special effects are great. No complaints there. But I think with the storyline and how it's progressing, I think could use a little bit of work almost.
They have a lot to work with now too.
Say again?
So they have a lot of work time to work with season 2 now, since they know how people are reacting to this season. They can make it a lot better. So it could potentially be like Titans. Like people were really worried about Titans season 1, and then they for season 2 really did something amazing. So there is a lot of potential with this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Agent of Shields. Like Agent of Shields, season 1 was like kind of crap, but season 2 going forward is like, oh.
I never saw it.
I have yet to watch that all the way through.
Season 1 was kind of like but season 2 they kind of know now where to go, so now it actually got better after season 2. That's how
I just remember hearing something about Ghost Rider being in a season.
He was in season 5.
Oh, really?
He was in season 5.
Wow. Are we talking about the same Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider?
No.
It's
different.
Okay. I was about to say, wait 1 second.
MCU Ghost Rider. So. Okay, guys.
It's not Johnny Blaze, is it? It's a different.
No,
different.
it's not Johnny Blaze. It's the other Ghost Rider.
Ah.
They're saving
Sorry,
Johnny
guys.
Blaze for another movie. But anyway, all right, guys. So this ends the Buttery Show. Where can I find you guys?
You can find me at Sumima_simpie on Instagram.
Where can I find you, Buttery Boy?
They could find me in different parts of the timeline in the universe.
Touche.
You can find me Instagram. I'm sorry. Well, you can find me Instagram.
Nothing, I'm laughing.
You can find me Instagram, DancerBoy247. Also, if you like Power Rangers, please follow us on Warp Network, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All right, guys. We'll be back again soon. We don't know which one we'll review or talk about, but just keep an update. All right, guys. This is the Buddy Show. Bye.
Bye.
Smile and wave variant and real Loki. Smile and wave. I look for the ending. Bye.